About the 30 best restaurants in New Jersey and the best wines to pair with oysters because it's National Oyster Day.
Plus, 2 new bills that were signed this week mandating schools to create threat assessment teams and helping communities battle those pesky mosquitoes. But first, we're checking in on the forecast. Meteorologist Mike Favetta, it's only going to get hotter.
I know. It's been a hot one yesterday, near record-breaking highs. Today, on Friday, we'll have another round of potentially record-setting heat, but it's the late afternoon storms that will help to break us from the incredibly hot weather. Temperatures today likely getting to just about where they were yesterday, minus a degree or two. Your high over in Newark, 93 degrees, 86 in Seabright. It's going to be warm here all across the state. Belmar, 88 degrees and 85 in Atlantic City. Yes, the sea breeze will come into effect each afternoon, but not all that much, and it just keeps it very humid and very sultry through each afternoon. We've got details on what to expect with the weekend weather for tomorrow and for Sunday, and take a peek of the 7-day forecast because there's some cooler weather ahead, but not a whole lot of rain, and that doesn't bode well for our worsening droughts. The drought information coming up next. We'll give you those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Mike, thanks so much.
Oh, man. And Don Smith is here with our first look at that morning ride. Hey, Don.
Hey, Cara, and good morning, Kristina. Good morning, Mike. And yeah, it's unfortunately not a good first look here on a Friday morning. Let's get you right to the maps. As Mike was doing his weather hit, we are seeing now the full closure of Route 18 in either direction here coming into Tennant Road. And now this is now an accident investigation according to the DOT. So it is right here. Actually, it's just northbound. Southbound was shut there for just a moment. So it looks like they may have that now repopulated there heading south, but it's going to be north here just as you come up in towards Tennant Road, just past Newman Springs Road, just before Texas Road and the Route 9 interchange. That's where we are seeing this accident investigation. So we hope that everyone is okay, but normally when they bring out the AI unit, it doesn't really kind of bode well for, very decent outcome, I should say. Well, let's leave it at that. We don't have anything confirmed, but again, this is going to be northbound on 18. Everything is shut here in towards the Marlboro Old Bridge border just before Route 9. We also have another issue here, friends, is on the Parkway. If you're heading down the shore early, just be careful here south on the Garden State Parkway, south of just into exit 98. We have a couple of lanes out of service. Let me show you that situation here. Actually, they are still there. It looks like we are onto the shoulder now. So it looks like the left shoulder is the only thing that is shut down, and they are just actually looking like they're going to wrap up the scene here momentarily. So we're still a little delayed here from out exit 102 down into that area. So the early approaches into Belmar and Wall Township, Spring Lake are a little bit tough. The rest of the Parkway in Monmouth County looks good. Parkway all throughout Ocean, down through Atlantic County. That is clear. Same thing on the AC Expressway and the western sections of the state 295. The Turnpike is going to be very quiet. Head up a quick snapshot here of 287. The Parkway is completely empty. But west along 280, we're starting to see some backups here in towards the West Orange area. It looks like we have some construction setting up out at Prospect Avenue. Well, you know, you're in a Friday summertime traffic pattern when the Hudson River crossings are under about 15 minutes across the board, and transit's on or close to schedule. And that's what's happening in an extremely busy traffic center early on a Friday here at 9:04. Cara, Kristina, let's send it back into you.
Thanks, Don.
Well, Governor Murphy signed a new bill this week mandating school districts create a threat assessment team.
Yeah, okay, so the teams would help schools identify potentially violent students and offer intervention options to help reduce the risk of school violence.
And these teams must each consist of a psychologist or a counselor, a teacher, a principal or administrator, a school resource or security officer, and a school safety specialist.
It's good.
But it's also sad.
It's also sad. I'm thinking about costs.
Yep. Who's going to pay for this?
These
taxpayers.
And it's each municipality or each district needs, one of these teams.
And it's sad that we're in a place today that now we have to think about this going on in our schools.
It's one of those funny things where it's like, is this the best option? Is there some way to even just within the state, create some version of universal mental health care that
can
parents
target that.
and to just kind of, or even just to teach our kids a little bit more about mindfulness,
Mental
how
health.
to properly express their emotions,
Yep.
how to say help.
Yes.
We don't do that well.
How to stop and say help. And, and train individuals in the school to be able to recognize those signs. It's such a huge problem. And I think nowadays, especially with kids these days, especially with social media, has been so much more cruel, I feel like, than when we were in school.
Yeah, because all the awful things we
Social
did, there's
media.
no record.
Right. That we know of. But yeah, so it's just been equally as hard, and I think that should be a component of it too, is social media and breaking down the effects of social media on high schoolers, especially junior high schoolers.
Yeah.
What's real, what's not, and how it affects your mental health.
Yeah.
I mean, even as adults, it affects mental health. So
Absolutely. But I feel like we at least know when we can take a break. There's so much of their
Right.
lives revolves around
with
it.
kids, it's different. Yeah. So.
That's a rough one. Oh man, it's interesting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Listen, we have one of the most talked about and anticipated lists of the year.
Yeah, NJ Monthly's top 30 restaurants in New Jersey. And here to tell us about the list is dining editor Eric Levin from NJ Monthly. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
So how long has it been ranking the best restaurants from around the state?
Many years. We're at it diligently, week in and week out. Our reviewers
Love
are
it.
out all the time. We have a blogger who writes about the best happenings in New Jersey restaurants 3 times a week.
Oh man, it's always so delicious. I love looking for this list. Now, how is the top 30 list compiled?
Well, it's a closely guarded secret, but no, seriously, what we do is we have our bloggers, we have our restaurant reviewers, and we all confer regularly throughout the year. So, going into June, when we put this issue together, we have a pretty good idea of what the standouts have been during the course of the year. And as the dining editor, I get to make the final decisions. And although 30 seems like a large number, and although New Jersey seems like a small state, it's just packed with great restaurants, and it has 3 distinct regions, as you guys know so well. So, we take the responsibility very, very seriously to try to make good judgments that our readers will want to visit and feel glad they visited.
Yeah, it's got to be hard though, like kind of picking your favorite kid, right? I mean, what if someone's taste, like your taste, differs from somebody else's taste? How do you go about choosing who's going to end up on the list and fit all these criteria?
Well, I mean, it's a combination of several things. One of them is, our judgment about the quality of the food, whether there's some originality involved, if they're trying to be true to a classic cuisine, are they really true to it? If they're trying to be innovative, are the changes and experiments successful and enjoyable? How about value? The price given the quality and the service, and also the dining room itself. If all those things go together, so you're getting good food, good service, and a good environment for a reasonable price, that ups your standing on our list.
So, Eric, there are 8 newcomers to the list this year. Can you tell us a little bit about them and what kind of set them apart this year?
Sure. Well, one of our, I would say maybe the one guy who qualifies as a celebrity chef in New Jersey is David Burke.
Absolutely.
He has restaurants in other states and other countries. He's very personable. He's physically big, and as a personality, he's big. And also his flavors are big, and his restaurants are a lot of fun, and they give good value. So he's got 2. One of them is new this year. It's called 1776. The reason he called it that, I think, is because it's located right in the heart of Morristown, and the roots of the Revolution go all the way back there. And he's doing great steaks and seafood and basil, butter, lobster, and things that are just delicious to eat. And he's got a little patio out front, where you can sit and look out over the Morristown Green, which was an important site in the early Revolutionary period.
Well, what about the chefs in the restaurants that are always on or make the list multiple times? You mentioned David Burke. Do you think each place is really that good, or do these guys just really have a great fan base?
Well, you're talking about two different things. One of them is our critics' picks, which has nothing to do with the fan base. It's based on our professional opinion about what we think stands out on a given year. The readers' poll is different, and the readers' poll, that's strictly the voting of our readers who vote in the many thousands. And we're very happy to highlight, what their picks are.
That is awesome. So, and Eric, what about some diversity in the list? We see a lot of the David Burkes. We see a lot of Italian cuisine because it's New Jersey, certainly. Right. Is there any look for or emphasis on, just different types of cuisine, and then chefs with some diversity to them, or chefs and owners as well, in terms of kind of balancing the list to reflect the state?
Well, yeah, I think that what we're looking for is quality, of course, and value, but we're also looking for food that reflects, New Jersey products. We have an amazing fishery in Point Pleasant and Cape May. So we have also amazing agriculture, Jersey corn, Jersey blueberries, I don't have to tell you about. So all that, goes into the analysis. But finally, it's about restaurants that are pleasant to be in, that give good value, and where the food we think is delicious.
Gotta check out that list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gotta
it
get
makes you
eaten.
hungry.
Eric Levin, NJ Monthly, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right, guys, coming up, there is a new bill to help fight bugs, why New Jersey is putting millions into battling mosquitoes.
And we're talking with the star of Saltwater Underground, Nick Honashevsky.
And don't forget, you can follow along and catch all your favorite guests and clips on demand online. Just search for @NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Click follow.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? You can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
The American Lung Association invites you to join us outside in 2021 for our Fight for Air Climb events. Now more than ever, we need you in the fight for clean air and healthy lungs. Let's go outside and climb, because every step counts. Visit us at lung.org.
To the New Jersey Morning Show.
Meteorologist Mike Favetta checks the hot and humid forecast for us. Mike, it's just, I can't.
It's too hot.
No words.
Too hot.
Too hot.
Humid. Took the dog out for a walk this morning, and even he's like, "Really? Like,
Yeah.
what happened to me? Like, what
I
are
was
you
gonna say,
doing?"
when they look at you side eye and they're like,
Yeah.
why are we not inside in the air? My
Or
dog
they
literally
step like this on the
has been-
concrete.
Oh yeah. She's been going right back and she's like, no,
No.
we're not doing this.
Even
Bye.
before 9 a.m. Even
Oh, yeah.
like yesterday's advice, we had the vet on saying, got to do it early in the morning. Well,
Yeah.
today's one of those days where it stays very hot, and then some afternoon storms may try to cool us off, but that's when they make it feel like a steam bath with all of that high humidity that returns to New Jersey later on today. Some weather headlines for you on this Friday morning. We have another round of hot weather that may lead to some afternoon storms, as well as some storms for tomorrow. But the best news of the week is that we finally break this heat by Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe of next week. Really looking forward to that. Will we break the drought? Not likely. And the reason for that is because our drought is worsening due to the lack of substantial rainfall. Look at here, most of central New Jersey right there highlighted in pink in that brownish tannish color. That means that that area has worsened to a moderate drought, whereas the rest of the state shown up in Morris County through Passaic, even right down into the Pine Barrens and points south there through Cape May County, Cumberland County, all those areas are now expanded to be in a drought. So the drought situation gets worse and will likely get worse. Not the best news we want to hear, especially as we enter wildfire season for the Pine Barrens. Typically it takes just a little one lightning strike and the whole thing goes up. Now our forecast brings back another round of hot weather tomorrow, more sunshine on Sunday, 93 as the high, and Monday should be our last day of 90-degree heat before we enjoy the 80s for a change. That'll feel nice come Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll show you those details coming up on the 7-day forecast, Cara and Kristina. That's in just a few minutes.
I feel like I should be concerned that we're like, oh, thank God, it's only going to be in the 80s.
Right. I know. It's the lesser evil.
Every little bit.
Something has gone wrong. Thank you, Mike.
Yes, every little bit counts for sure. Well, Don Smith is here with a look at the commute now. Don?
Yeah, thank you, Kristina, and good morning, Karen. Good morning, Mike. Yeah, let's go back to the 80s. Fire up the 80s playlist, right? Little Rick Astley, little Lisa Stansfield. Good morning, everybody. Unfortunately, we've got some issues here, and again, this just happened maybe about 20 minutes ago. Unfortunately, north on Route 18 is shut just north of Tennant Road here in Marlborough Township, right on the border with Old Bridge. So that northbound side here is completely shut down. You can see how far back our delays get now. We're almost back towards Windcrest Road at this point. So if you can maybe make your venture over towards Route 9 or even 79, I think it's going to be obviously a lot better choice here than sitting in all of this traffic along Route 18 heading north. Now, there's also traffic going south because there's some rubbernecking delays coming from just south of Route 9. That interchange there out by Texas Road. So I would, give yourself a couple of minutes of extra travel time. If you need to use 18, it's going to cost you maybe another 5-10 minutes there, or you could stay with the southbound side of Route 9 is also another option. But again, that's the top traffic story here is northbound 18 is closed, again, north of Tennant Road in Marlborough until further notice. Now, south on the Parkway, it's getting a little bit better as we will go to the cameras here this morning. And yes, it's much better because it was right there in the center of the screen. That's the southbound Parkway. As you came in towards exit 98 and Wall, there was a big crash there that is long gone now. So that's out of the way for us. But the rest of the shore areas are in good shape. Parkway, Toms River, down through Long Beach Island into Beach Haven, all the way to Atlantic City, Ocean City, Sea Isle City, down through Cape May, Wildwood, out to exit 0 is good. Everything east and west across the state, 55, AC Expressway, 295, the Turnpike, we're moving fine. So is 195, the Turnpike through Middlesex County. We are looking good, though there is a little bit of road work here to contend with south on the Turnpike as you come in towards interchange 11 on the outer roadway there. It looks like it's on the ramp to 11. A little bit of a spot repair there as well. With the Parkway through Union County, 78, we're all in great shape all the way out through Clinton and Lebanon, Route 80, Route 46. 287 is clear. It's here along eastbound 46. We've got some construction and an accident being reported now out the Route 3 interchange. So look for that, and things are fairly significant backups there. Also west on 280, we're dealing with some road work here out at Prospect Avenue. I had that camera. Let me just quickly bring that camera up for us. This is 280 here at Prospect Avenue. You will see the road work here on the far left where the two right lanes are shut down till about 3 o'clock. We also have some delays in New Jersey Transit on the AC rail line, up to 20 minutes there and up to 30 minutes here because of some police assistance in Dover on the Morris and Essex line, and your Hudson River crossings are all under about 15 and under. That's what's happening here. And again, another busy traffic center for a Friday. Cara, Kristina, let's send it back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Don. So a new bill sets aside $3 million to what? battle bugs.
Yeah. So the bill is aimed at helping towns fight mosquitoes. Now, despite our small size, New Jersey has a variety of environments, many of them prone to the pesky insect.
Yeah, but mosquitoes aren't just a nuisance. Of course, they carry diseases too. Last year, there were 71 cases of malaria and 36 cases of West Nile.
It's so funny because when you hear that $3 million number and you're like, this is a little excessive. And then you hear the disease numbers and you're like,
wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of see it.
It's crazy.
Kind of see it. Yeah.
And they are out in full force, I feel like, even more so than in years past.
Yeah.
If we could just find something for those darn lantern flies, we'd be all set.
Yeah, exactly.
It's disgusting and ruining trees.
And ruining trees. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have an issue.
We do have an issue. And now they're on the beach.
I know. Yes.
It's like,
we'll talk about that next week, probably.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, speaking of the beaches, Jersey native, journalist, and avid fisherman Nick Honishevsky can now add Discovery Channel to his resume.
So cool. The host of Saltwater Underground joins us now to tell us all about his latest adventure. Hey there, Nick. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, Cara, Kristina, thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it.
This is so cool. Tell us about Saltwater Underground and how did the show start?
Well, I've been a journalist in the sport fishing industry for about 23, 24 years now. So naturally, the next step, I think, was to take it to television. And there's only so much I could do in the print media industry. So I wanted to kind of make it a little bit more visual and make the jump to television. I originally had a show on NBC Sports in 2010, then the World Fishing Network. Then I decided to go out and make my own show with Saltwater Underground, which airs now on Discovery Channel, Sportsman's channel on Waypoint TV. But the reason why I created Saltwater Underground is because all these television shows that we used to see and that are on television now are basically based in like Florida or these like really far off destinations that are unattainable for the average person. And Jersey has the best fishing, I'm convinced, in the United States and the best fishery. So I wanted to showcase my home state and really bring that to light of the fishing opportunity here, the culinary aspects like your previous guest from NJ Monthly was talking about. And the show showcases 3 segments of fishing, and then the 4th segment dives into the culinary. You always have like a celebrity chef like Josh DeCellis from Juniper Hill, James Avery from Bonnie Reed down in Asbury Park. But yeah, the whole idea is to bring New Jersey to the forefront.
That's so cool.
I love it, and I love that you incorporated food because food is my jam. How could you? I mean, so what are you fishing? I mean, of course, there's sport fishing, but really, at the end of the day, you're fishing to eat, right? Like, we're gonna eat something good.
Dinner.
We go either way. We do it for.
We go either way. Listen, Nick. I mean, you have your own just incredible story. I think a personal story that started here in New Jersey. It has taken you around the world. How did you first fall in love with fishing?
It's funny you mentioned. I just got back from Belize like last night, so it's crazy. I got to do some work right now. But I fell in love with fishing at 4 years old when my father. I grew up in Hunterdon County in Clinton, and we fished like Black Brook, Spruce Run Reservoir. I caught my first trout there, and then saltwater wise, I got into fishing when I was about 5, 6 years old. My mother would write my brother Bill and I sick notes to get out of school, and my dad would take us to Island Beach State Park and go fishing for striped bass. So that's truly where I got the saltwater bug for me. And then, in 1998, I moved down to the beach in Normandy Beach full time after that because the salt water just drew me in. And that's kind of how I got involved in fishing and just being outdoors and having respect and love and passion to go fishing, but also now to educate, entertain, and inspire others to do the same.
Yeah, when you love what you do, it's not a job, right? And you not only host and produce the show, you're contributing to several sports magazines, podcasts, and more. How do you do it all and still find time to enjoy this love of fishing?
Well, you still got to pay the bills no matter what you do, right? So if I wanted to be rich, I wouldn't have been in the sport fishing writing industry, But over the years, I've write for all the magazines, like Saltwater Sportsman, Field and Stream, Outdoor Life. Either as an editor or fisherman, the local magazines in Jersey, like the Fisherman Mag, On the Water magazine. But you have to find that balance. And I married my love with my business, and a lot of times that's hard to manage. But when I wake up every day, I love going to work, but there's always deadlines. People always think, you got the greatest job. You still got to produce. Yeah. You still got to constantly be writing and inventing and creating, And sometimes, you run into lulls, and that's when you go out fishing and come back and you're ready to write again. So
it sounds like the perfect creative break. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of everything that you've created, you have also done, at least in the past, the Barrier Island Beach Brawl. Is that something that's going to be happening again this year? And what is it?
Yeah, so it's really rad. So when I was growing up, there was this community of surf fishermen, sport fishermen, back way before social media, and people met face to face and enjoyed the company of each other and weren't just as avatars online. So I wanted to bring a sense of community back to the surf fishing community and the whole fishing industry as a whole. So this is our 4th year. I created the Barrier Island Beach Brawl, which is a surf fishing tournament. It always happens on Columbus Day weekend every year. And this year, I think it's October 8th, 9th, and 10th. I think it is. I got to check. Whatever Columbus Day weekend is. But so basically, last year we gave out $28,000 worth of free fishing tackle and prizes. I want everyone just to come and enjoy, make moments and make memories with your family, with your friends. Take someone new fishing, and that's why I created the tournament, to build a sense of community again. For people that fish all the time, or people that are just starting to get involved in fishing, the people that want to learn about the surf fishing and the saltwater type of lifestyle and industry. And I've created that, like I said, to introduce people. And we also give to charity. Last year, we gave a bunch of money to St. Jude's Hospital. But the whole point, too, is that everyone walks away with something for free, some fishing tackle, so the entry fee is well worth it. And hopefully you catch some fish. You don't even have to catch fish to win the tournament, And it's always that we host it at the Crab's Claw in Lavalette and Playa Bowls in Lavalette. That's where the main area is. And, you can obviously sign up for that on my website at saltwaterunderground.com.
I love it. Yeah, we were just going to ask, with all of the stuff you got going on, Saltwater Underground and everything else, where can we find you?
So if anyone has any questions whatsoever, I see it just popped up on the screen. Saltwaterunderground.com is where you can see a portfolio of some of my work, but also I'm always willing, able, and available for anyone who has any fishing questions. I field them all the time, from men, women, children, all alike. On my Instagram at Nick Honashevsky. Like you said, it's saltwaterunderground.com here. And if anyone wants to watch reruns of season 1, season 2, you can go to my YouTube, which is Saltwater Underground at Nick Honashevsky. You can watch all the old episodes. We're filming season 3 now, which is going to air Q1 2023 and Q2 2023. Stay tuned. Sign up for the newsletter at saltwaterunderground.com. You'll check it all out.
You're such a busy man. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. And, I've never been fishing, so I think you've inspired me to try it.
You're coming to the beach roll. Come to the beach roll.
We'll come out.
Let's do it. Thanks so much for being with us today. Good luck with everything.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Yay.
Nick Honashevsky, Saltwater Underground.
Yeah.
Man, was he a great guy or what?
So
That was awesome.
Probably one of the busiest guests we've had.
yeah, right? And happy to be here still.
Yeah, that's awesome. And seriously, I've never been fishing, so we got to try it. Have you been fishing?
I've been when I was a little kid, because where I grew up was outdoorsy. So, and my brother loved fishing.
Oh,
so we would go to
Yeah.
lakes and stuff. But I mean fishing, let's tie some string to a stick that we found and see what happens.
So not it's fake fishing.
Fake fishing. This little kid pretend fishing, but we had a good time.
It's so fun. Making memories. That's what counts.
That's it.
Hey, listen, you can join us and be a part of the show anytime. Head over to Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Look for @NJ Morning Show and follow along.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? You can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
The American Lung Association invites you to join us outside in 2021 for our Fight for Air Climb events. Now more than ever, we need you in the fight for clean air and healthy lungs. Let's go outside and climb, because every step counts. Visit us at lung.org.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show.
Mike is back with another look at these lazy, hazy days of summer, but relief is coming. Right?
We do. We have some cooler weather coming. It's going to take a few days, but in the meantime, have to kind of sweat it out throughout this weekend, especially with the highs that will be back in the upper 90s by Sunday. The whole weekend, very warm, just a bit more cloud cover by Saturday. I think Sunday is the sunnier half of the weekend, and that's what you see here with the beach cast. Saturday afternoon, tomorrow starts off with a little bit of cloud cover, but gradually sees more clouds and maybe the chance of a storm, especially off to the west. Beaches likely will be cloudy, but again, with a little bit of a sea breeze in the afternoon, you should clear out later in the day. Temperatures will stay very warm, even right on the sand, 81 in Seaside, and that's the coolest location. Now, by Sunday, we're back to mostly sunny skies, and there will be a little bit of a hotter feel because of that. Temperatures climb back into the mid and upper 80s on the sand. A very warm way to finish the weekend, but also the water temperatures have warmed into the mid 70s, so there's some somewhat cooler weather around right the surf zone. The forecast inland from Morristown to Trenton, even over in Newark, will be back in the 80s for tomorrow and back in the 90s once we get to Camden, especially on Sunday afternoon, thanks to all that sunshine. And you see here with the 7-day forecast, with highs climbing back to 93 on Monday, that's the last time we'll be back in the 90s, finally cooling things down for Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday only gets to a high of 83. I don't feel like nature's air conditioning with mostly sunny skies and, more importantly, reduced humidity by then. So even though we had so much humidity around yesterday, a lot of humidity around today, makes the air conditioning feel a whole lot better. It'll be nice to enjoy the low 80s for a change, get some dry weather back in here for once. So we're hoping for that just a few days from now. About 6 days. We'll wait it out. Another check of your forecast, including the weather menu. If you plan to do any outdoor dining this evening, although you'd be sweating it out, I'm not sure why you would. We'll give you that info coming up, Cara and Kristina, in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I think we would go inside or take it to go. Maybe.
Yeah, ice cream. Ice cream's about
Ice cream, exactly. Thanks so much, Mike.
All right, and Don Smith has a look at the ride for us.
Thank you, Cara, and good morning to you, Kristina. Good morning, Mike, and the Weather Center. Let's get you over to our top story. We've been following this since we came on the air here at 9 o'clock. Let's get you to the maps. It's northbound 18 is still going to be shut down until further notice now. Just between Tennant Road and Texas Road, fortunately, a serious crash happened about 40 minutes ago or so. So there's now an investigation now taking place. So northbound 18, again, 18 north, is completely shut down here just north of Tennant Road between Tennant and Texas. You can see the alternate volume, some of it here on Newman Springs Road, on over towards Route 9, out to the southern side of the Costco there in the Old Bridge area, Marlboro. So Route 9 will be a much better ride for you for watching us further south of this, or 79 will get you past this as well. But again, looking at probably well over a half an hour here north along Route 18, as that continues to be shut down and southbound a little bit heavy into the accident location. Let's continue on. Let's focus in on the Parkway for some who may be heading out to the shore here on a Friday morning to beat some of the heat. Parkway looks good here on through Monmouth County, much better into Wall Township at exit 98. Our crash has been cleared. 34 looks pretty good. Still some delays here along 35 in Bayhead. But that's just kind of normal stuff there through some of the traffic lights just south of Route 88 coming out of Point Pleasant Beach. Parkway is great through Toms River, Stafford 72. Again, it really is almost like a very early Sunday morning out here on a Friday. Atlantic City, Ocean City Parkway out to exit 0, AC Expressway. Again, everything is clean and green here except for Route 18. Once again, around the Capitol, 295, the Turnpike, 195 is a crisp ride. Smooth sailing here out towards western portions of Somerset County, Hunterdon County, and Stockton and Frenchtown on Route 12, 202, 206 Hillsborough, 287, Route 22 in the central part of the state is clear. Bedminster, 78, 287 all throughout Morristown, and 80 is fine. Again, it is just fairly tranquil out here. We never say quiet in the traffic business. We say tranquil. We'll go up towards the northwest section of the state here on 206 and 202 and Route 15. We're moving fine. Same thing in Amawa, Ramsey, 17, 287, and 202. The only other outstanding issue is some road work here along eastbound 46, right at the Route 3 interchange out by Montclair State in Little Falls. That's probably a good 10 or 15 minutes. So if you have to head points east of this into Clifton and Nutley, or even further east of that, I would stay with Route 80. Now, transit, we still have some issues here this morning on the Morrison-Essex, up to 30 minutes through Dover. Also looking at some delays. That's a canceled train in the valley. The corridor here looking at up to 20 minutes here this morning. And our bridges and tunnels, again, friends, we are looking very, very good. You know, you're in a Friday summertime pattern. As I refresh and give you the freshest numbers here, under about 15 minutes, and path is on or close to schedule. And that's happening here in the traffic center. Cara, Kristina, let's send it back into you.
Thanks, Don. So our next guest is bringing classical music to the masses.
Yeah, please welcome founder and artistic director of the Dukesberry Orchestra, Maestro George Mariner Mall, to the show. Welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be a guest.
Tell us about Dukesberry Orchestra and how did it start?
Well, the Dukesberry Orchestra began 35 years ago, and it first actually was a regular symphony orchestra that gave the typical kinds of concerts that symphony orchestras gave. But somewhere on the way to the forum, we decided that the best thing we could do with our time and resources was to help more people understand and enjoy classical music.
That's great.
I love that. And it's funny, my grandfather loved classical music, so I did kind of get that as a child where, you get some exposure to it. Yeah. So I understand that Dukesberry Orchestra is actually giving away some free tickets. Can you tell us about this special event in September?
We're very excited to be actually playing our first post-COVID concert called Discovery Saint-Saëns Organ Symphony with 90 members of the orchestra exploring the last movement of the Symphony No. 3 by French composer Camille Saint-Saëns. And we're doing this at the Pingree School in Martinsville in the Hauser Auditorium there at the school. And it will be recorded for American Public Television, with broadcasts slated to begin in the spring, in May of 2023. But we'll be recording it on the 18th of September, Sunday afternoon at 2:45 p.m. And we'd love to have the public come. There's no charge for admission, but you have to register and reserve a seat for yourself.
There's no other sound like being in a live orchestra, like sitting there and hearing it from your toes to your brain. The orchestra has several other programs too available. And as you mentioned, you are returning to the stage for the first time since the pandemic. Can you tell us a little bit about what other shows are also available?
Well, this will be our 6th production for American Public Television.
Wow.
And the other 5 are all up on Amazon.com, so they can be seen that way. 3 of them are also on what is now known as PBS Passport. And there are 3 that are currently in circuit being shown around the country. And they are a show called Discover Vivaldi's Four Seasons. And then we have one called an 8-part series called Fall in Love with Music, which is kind of a course in how to listen to classical music. And then our most recent broadcast before this one, called Discover the Firebird, features the music of Stravinsky's ballet score, The Firebird. And those 3 shows are still being broadcast. There are shows on today. I could read you the schedule, but I won't bore you.
That's fantastic.
And Maestro, are you guys doing other concerts that folks can buy tickets to through the fall?
Well, the truth is, most of our eggs are in the media basket.
Got it.
We basically reach our audiences through our television shows and through our online content. We also have a YouTube channel, and there you can find about 170 short discussions on various aspects of music listening. They're called our Dukesberry Orchestra Chats.
I love it.
I love it. Maestro, where can we find out more about Dukesberry Orchestra?
You want to go to our website, and that is www.dukesberyorchestra.org. And if you go there, you can find all kinds of stuff to investigate about music listening. But you can also sign up for free tickets for this recording for television on the 18th of September.
Incredible.
Sounds like a great time.
I know. I love it. George Mariner Mall, Dukesberry Orchestra, thank you so much for your time this morning. We're excited.
Yeah. We are too. I just want to say that this piece of music, which features an organ, a pipe organ, as part of the orchestra
Oh, wow.
is perhaps one of the most moving and uplifting pieces of music I know. And we chose it because we feel like we're living in difficult, maybe even stressful times, and people could use a really uplifting moment.
Yes, for sure.
You are absolutely right. And I think music is one of the most joyful and I think releasing things for so many of us. I know a lot of us find peace and calm and relief in music of all types.
And brings people together too.
Yes, it's an incredible force for good.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being with us, and best of luck on the 18th, and we can't wait to see it.
Thank you again for having me as a guest.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
There's nothing like it though when you're sitting there in an audience and you just hear the first strings.
Yes.
It just kind of like gives you
it gives you chills.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. Well, coming up, we're talking National Oyster Day today and the best wines to pair with them.
Oh, I'm so excited. Good thing we're drinking because it's hot out today. Meteorologist Mike Favetta will be back with a look at the weekend forecast.
And don't forget, you can catch full episodes and your favorite clips online. Just follow at NJ Morning Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
The American Lung Association invites you to join us outside in 2021 for our Fight for Air Climb events. Now more than ever, we need you in the fight for clean air and healthy lungs. Let's go outside and climb, because every step counts. Visit us at lung.org.
Getting the wine glasses ready. We'll
Ready.
Explain in a moment. But welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show.
We'll let meteorologist Mike Favetta take it away. He's got one last look at the weather for us. I'm getting ready to drink. It's 9
Should have
a.m.
gotten the wine glasses ready. Oh man, can't wait to see what's on the menu today. Oyster pairing. Wow. I always wondered, and I hope you ask our guest this. You know those like the mignonettes that you can put on the oysters, like the little acid of vinegar or whatever it is.
Yes.
Does that kind of change the taste of the wine or flavor of the wine?
Ooh, that's a good
Because-
question, Mikey. I like it.
question.
Anytime there was an acidic thing like lemon water, for instance, or ice water with lemon on the table, and we were at a wine tasting, my father was like, no, you can't drink that. It's going to change the flavor of the wine. So
We will ask.
We'll ask
thank
for
you so much. Thank you so much. We've got some spritzer type weather for the weekend. Need to stay hydrated with the water throughout our Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Really hot stuff on the way, specifically this evening with some thunderstorms moving in. Your weather menu shows those storms and temperatures that will hold in the upper 80s and even low 90s like in Cherry Hill, 91 degrees. Very warm throughout this evening with that high humidity as some storms push on through. However, we have another round of clouds tomorrow for Saturday that keep it a touch cooler, but it's still going to be humid right through the end of the day. Clouds are gone on Sunday. It's the sunnier half of the weekend starting Sunday, and that will bring back highs in the 90s, and we do it all over again for Monday, 93. I think our heat wave ends on Monday because we're right back into the upper 80s come Tuesday and much more comfortable conditions by Thursday. Highs then, about 6 days from now, only 83 degrees with comfortable levels of humidity. And that's the trend going forward beyond the 7-day. There are no heat waves. So I think the worst is behind us. And while there could be a few more 90-degree days here and there, as the rest of August progresses, I think we're done with the hottest part of the year, so hopefully the forecasts follow suit. We'll take another check of your forecast coming up because now I think it's time to imbibe. Don't you say it, Cara?
Yes, I think
Cheers
so.
to the weekend.
Although our director Pam says she would like the no more heat waves in writing, so if you can just rubber
I'll get
stamp
it
that.
Please
notarized.
and thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, Mikey.
Notarized. Please and thanks. Well, Don Smith looks at the roads and rails now. Don?
Yeah, thank you, Kristina, and good morning, Karen. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, everybody, here at 9:44. Let's get you over the maps. Unfortunately, we still have this big situation here in Monmouth County. It's on northbound Route 18 in Marlboro is shut down just as you come up to the Old Bridge border. This is in between Tennant Road and Texas Road. There's an accident investigation that has been ongoing for the last hour or so. So you want to stay with 79 or Route 9 instead. Now, you're probably going to see a little bit of extra traffic here on Newman Springs Road, everything that kind of connects in between Route 18 and Route 9, east and west there. So be careful. Same thing getting off at Tennant Road. But this is 18. Our delay is well over a half an hour now past a Windcrest Road out by Marlboro High School, really just south of that location. So again, if you can get over to 79, is going to be the much easier option. Again, there's no ETA as far as how long this will be out there. So just plan your travels accordingly if you need to head up into the Old Bridge area and eventually up towards, let's say, Sayreville along Route 9 and use Route 18 coming out of, the Colts Neck area as well. Or you could stay with 34 if you're watching us in Colts Neck here or Tinton Falls this morning. Heading to the shore, try to beat some of the heat right now. We're in good shape here along the Parkway through Monmouth County, 35, 36 through Highlands, on over towards Long Branch, Asbury Park, all in great shape. Route 9 a little tied up in Lakewood through the traffic lights, as it always is, out by Kennedy Boulevard. Parkway, we're fine. 98 down through 89 into Toms River. 35 Lavalette Seaside Heights is also going to be looking good. Let's head further south, I should say. Stafford Township, 72. We're moving fine. Martin Triggs Boulevard there for Pam. Getting east of the Parkway is quiet over towards Long Beach Island. Again, it really almost looks like a very early Saturday, Sunday morning, heading through Atlantic City, Ocean City, Wildwood, Cape May, east and west on the AC Expressway, down to the Delaware Memorial Bridge. Maybe some making an early getaway into Delaware for the weekend is fine on 295, the Turnpike. 206, 70, 73 is good in towards Mount Laurel. And the Turnpike on 195 is a crisp ride. Even in central Jersey, not a whole lot happening on the Parkway across the Driscoll Bridge. Same thing on 287, South Plainfield, Piscataway into Bridgewater, 202, 206, 78. I'm seeing just a little uptick in traffic here out through Tunnel Road. And, as we say that, let's quickly go to the cameras here. I think they're setting up the midday road work in just a few minutes, and that it is. Looks like our right lane, again, the right lane getting up Jugtown Mountain is going to be out of service there with that repair. That will be there till about 3 o'clock or so, give or take maybe 15 minutes on either side of that. North Central Jersey, 206, 287, Morristown, 80, Route 15, 46. Again, you can see it is very quiet out here, 206 and 15. Oops, I said quiet, and I shouldn't say that. It's tranquil, because then everything breaks loose here. 17, Mahwah, Ramsey, 202, the Parkway, 208 is good. The one hot spot here is eastbound on 46, and we're really tied up now. Back through about Patterson Avenue, almost just east of Union Boulevard, east into Montclair State, out to the Route 3 split. And that's all for some midday road work. And again, maybe if you really need to have time on your side, go east along Route 80 is the much better option. 17, your Parkway is good. Heading south into 280 is a little crowded, but the Turnpike Eastern and Western spurs are fine. And all the Staten Island crossings are running nicely. Hudson River crossings, we're under about 15 minutes, and we're still, picking up some delays here along transit. This is going to be on the Morrison Essex up to 30 there, and the corridor about 20 minutes. So definitely give yourself some additional travel time. That's what's happening here in the traffic center at 9:48. Cara, Kristina, send it back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Don.
So today is National Oyster Day, and joining us now is wine director for the Frog and the Peach restaurant in New Brunswick, Donaziano Betancourt. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for having me.
Yay.
Our pleasure. So, Donnie, I know the wine is really your thing, but just tell us a little bit about the oysters you have today.
So the oysters that we have today is actually just one kind. It's a Dukesberry Oysters from Massachusetts. They're small to medium in size, nice and briny. And with that, we have a rosé mignonette sauce.
Ooh, beautiful. Oh, so our meteorologist was just asking us about the mignonette sauce. Does the vinegar, the acid in the sauce, or even if you're having lemon water, does that impact the flavor of the wine?
Absolutely, it does. And for that, so we have two different wines, actually.
So do we.
Ooh,
we're so excited.
So we have one that goes really nice with the mignonette and the oysters. So it's the same comb. So this one is a blend of a Viognier and Picpoul. So the Viognier is kind of bring that round, creamy texture to the wine. And with the acidity of the mignonette, kind of like works backward. So usually with oysters, you want something crisp and briny. But when you add the mignonette to the oysters, it's the opposite. So you're gonna need something richer, bolder, and that's why we have the same comb right here. Because I gotta try it right now, and
I know I'm a little bit jealous that we could
You
not,
have the oysters.
We could not quite figure out how to get the oysters into the studio with us, but we have the wine. This wine is delicious,
Yeah, it's
by
really
the way.
good.
do you ladies get that creamy, like
Yes.
texture, like oily mostly?
Yes, absolutely.
What makes a good wine pairing with oysters?
You're fine to talk with your mouth
Oh,
full too.
yeah,
We're very casual
Yeah.
here.
It's cool. We do that all the time. And we drink with our mouth full too.
Yes.
Oysters, like you always want to like something crisp, high in acidity, briny, something that kind of like goes really like near to the ocean.
Okay.
Like we have this one, New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc from Villa Maria. So that's amazing. Really crisp, bold, and Villa Maria is one of they've been making wine for 60 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like really old school, like the first one to start making wine. They have that really expressive fruit forward. I don't know if you're tasting that.
I'm still working on the first one, but I do have a question for you. So what, we're so lucky that we are getting to taste these, but if I am in the liquor store and I know that I'm going for seafood, or I know that I'm going to the raw bar, what do I look for? If I don't know this wine and I don't know the flavor of it, how do I pick something, kind of anticipating my meal?
Well, if you're going for like seafood, you can always go with Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
Sauvignon Blanc is the one to go. It's always like dry, fruity, really nice with raw or cooked seafood. You can also go with a Muscadet. Muscadet is from the Loire Valley, so it's near the Atlantic Ocean, so that's the best pairing with seafood. We also have the pool, and if you're like really confused and there's so many options out there, you can always do champagne or sparkling wine. That's the one to go with anything when you're like you don't know what to do, because in these days are too many options.
I like that. That's a good rule of thumb, to just be, if I have no idea what I'm doing, sparkling wine, and I'm okay.
That's it.
And so that's rule 101. If you even with us, when we're trying to pair something and we don't know what to do, because sometimes their dishes are really difficult, champagne is the answer to that.
Champagne is always, I like that. It doesn't matter what the question is. Champagne is apparently
Champagne
the answer.
all day.
That's good to know.
Well, the restaurant is having a special this evening to celebrate Oyster Day. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So we're doing a $2 per oyster at the bar with a half price. The glasses that we're pouring today, half price at the bar and at the table. So half price.
Oh. I think you and I are taking a trip
to New Brunswick.
To New Brunswick for some dinner. Yeah. Listen, Donnie, we have to congratulate you guys too, because we had on the editor for NJ Monthly at the top of the show. You guys made the top 30 list for this year for NJ Monthly. What's that been like for you guys?
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Again, champagne, always the answer.
Yeah.
Let's just have at it.
Congratulations. How do you feel about that, making the list?
It's always like it motivates you to keep working harder. I think that we're doing great things right here. This restaurant is like an institution.
Yeah.
For almost 40 years. So it was one of the first upscale restaurants in Central Jersey. So it makes you feel that you're doing something right, and makes you feel like keep working harder and to be there like every year.
Yeah. You're 100% right, because I went to Rutgers years ago, and Frog and Peach was there, and it had a name for itself, and it was an institution, and we could never afford to go there because we were college kids at the time, but because it was a beautiful fine dining restaurant. We had no business being there, quite frankly, but it is. So again, congratulations to you guys. Thank you so much. These have both been delicious. So again, we've got the Villa Maria Sauvignon Blanc, and my French is awful, but Saint-Comé?
Saint-Com.
Saint-Com.
Yeah, as a matter of fact,
an Italian kid from Jersey. It was never going to come out right.
my French is also like horrible,
As long as it goes down, okay.
But I was going to say, but the way it goes down, it doesn't come out real good, but it goes down easy. There you go. Donaziano Betancourt from the Frog and the Peach. Thank you so much for your time today. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Salud.
Cheers.
Yes.
Happy weekend.
Yes.
That was an action-packed show we've been having. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. We hope you have a great weekend too.
Yeah, exactly. We've definitely covered it all today. We have come full circle from the state's best restaurants to fishing,
classical music to wine pairing. That's how we roll here in the New Jersey Morning Show.
It definitely is. Yeah, for sure. Hey, thanks so much for rolling with us. Don't forget you can follow along on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at NJ Morning Show. We will see you live again next Thursday at 9 a.m.
Yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. See you then. Cheers.